all, and welcome to Shutter Jams. Today is the first episode that we will have without Stef. He's been really busy with the musical at the moment, so that's taking up the majority of his time, quite rightly as well. So if you fancy checking it out, have a look at Kin, a new musical. It is currently selling tickets for a run in London at King's Cross. If there are any tickets left, go and get them because it's going to be a good show. But today I will be joined by Ross Uttridge. He is a local singer-songwriter. And we'll be chatting about his musical life, his musical upbringing, background, how he writes songs, also what he does as a day job as well, because it's not full-time for him. And yeah, we've also got a couple of sessions, a couple of songs rather, that he's played here in our live session suite. So I will link those up here somewhere. Yeah, so have a look at those, and I hope you enjoy. You seen them?
No, really cool.
They're cool, aren't they?
So as soon as I come in, I spotted them. I was like, nice.
They were at the music school. I think they were.
Oh, were they?
Just knocking about, and one of the lads was like, "Would you use them?" I was like, "Yeah, I would."
Thanks.
I think they had loads of them anyway because they're all, I don't know.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you for doing this. Thank you for coming
Mate, anytime, honestly.
So I probably should have got questions sorted, but I thought we'd kind of just take it from. I think the first one was when did you start playing, and who or what inspired you to? What was your first instrument? Is it guitar?
Believe it or not, my first instrument, I could not play it now for love nor money, was a cello.
Oh, really?
Yeah. First instrument I ever played.
How long did you do that for?
It was during primary school. So it would have been year 3 to year 6.
How old are you?
So
three?
That's year 3, you had to have been 5, 6, no, 7.
7.
6
or
7,
right.
6, 7 years old.
Oh,
Until
wow.
I was 10.
That must have been huge.
I was, yeah, you can't get
just a
little
real
baby ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my first ever instrument. I played it with me and my cousin, and the school. I went to Dame Janet at the time, and they did all the people had lessons in those types of instruments. There was like an orchestra style thing once a week where we'd stay after school and play and stuff.
Yeah,
but
nice.
It was weird because it was one of them instruments. I enjoyed playing it, to be fair, but everything was taught in. It's kind of like confessions, this actually. So
yeah,
it was taught in theory.
Okay.
But my musical theory is not that good.
Okay.
Most of my learning's done through ear or basically by ear or watching or so that whole period of learning it, my cousin was better at theory, so I used to just sort of wait till he had nailed it or learnt it, and then just
sort of watching him.
How do we do that, mate?
Yeah.
And then I'd learn it, and then I'd be fine for the for the concerty bits.
That's how I learned the Rubik's Cube.
Yeah.
My brother learned it, and I went, show me.
Same. One of my best mates showed me how to do it because I was like, I really want to learn how to do it. Everything online confuses me. Show me.
Yeah.
I love it. But that's my first instrument, and then there was a bit of a gap, and then guitar. So
So what made you pick the guitar up again? Did you, or did it was there an artist that you liked, or was it just sort of, that looks cool, I'll give it a go?
Yeah, so my dad's always played guitar for as long as I can remember. So there was always a guitar in the house. He'd always play and stuff. He was never like a lead guitarist sort of player. He always play sort of rhythm stuff and things. So I've always had that at home.
Yeah.
And then when I knocked cello on the head, because again, it was a bit of a weird one. I don't think I ever owned my own cello. It's hired through the school. And then because I wasn't that fast, I was like, I'm not going on the head. Instead of spending hundreds of pounds on a cello.
Yeah.
And thought, I'll start playing guitar. Yeah, so Dad sort of inspired me to have an interest in it as such. Nice. And then equally, I think because my dad's passion for guitar and things, I was always into Dave Gilmour, Mark Knopfler.
Cool.
Personally, I've always been into Eric Clapton. Dad's not as much of a fan, but Clapton
was my first kind of oh wow, I want to be able to do that sort of moment.
What a
and
guy.
But Knopfler like
Yeah.
really quickly took over, and
Yeah.
like I bought a Dire Straits, the Brothers in Arms album.
Yeah.
Like charted out. I bought the book.
Yeah.
Like the
start to finish, amazing.
I don't think I've ever actually read it the whole way through.
Oh, really?
I sat down
Fair
with
play.
it and tried to learn one of them
Yeah.
when I was like 13, 14. And I've never been a very good reader.
Yeah.
Like, I can similarly, like if I can hear it, normally I can like work it out and play it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Listen and watch, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm the same.
Yeah.
Like in the past, I've had books and stuff, and I'm just like, even if it's like black and white, as simple as you can get, I'm just like, this just does nothing for me.
Yeah.
And I feel like I need to, like with those books, you lose a little bit of that personable feel about it. Because
I agree.
like I'd rather sit there and play the same. I don't know if you're the same, but like when I'm learning something, I'll play like a small bit of it over and over and over and over. It probably drives my wife nuts. But like that's how I learn. And every song I've ever learned, even like when I've written my own songs, like the way I remember them is in like small segments.
Okay.
And like each one triggers a neck for me to remember the next. So like
okay.
it's weird. So like the first line of the first verse is what will trigger the whole verse for me. And
right. Yeah. No. Yeah. I'm similar in that.
But even like when learning the covers and stuff, it might not even be like the whole. It might be like one or two lines. I'll just be like, and I'll just hammer them over and over and over to make sure it's nailed.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's always. I mean, Knopfler definitely. I think as much as the others are like, I thought the others were cool.
Yeah.
And amazing, but Knopfler for me was.
He's another
just
level.
Something else, like just the style, like the finger picking style, and
it's
just how clean it sounds.
Yeah.
I was just, that got me massively into it.
So do you play electric at all?
Yeah, not as much as I should.
Because I think I've only ever seen you with acoustics.
So sort of a story to that was when I started learning or like actually wanting to learn guitar. I was always interested in obviously like solos and stuff, like all the cool stuff. But,
I wanted a whale.
I'm going to be awesome, like get ladies. No, I'm joking. It never happened.
No, you just get creepy old men, don't you?
Yeah, creepy old
What's
men.
your gear? Are you using those leads?
Yeah, what valve are you using?
Yeah.
I don't know. You can play it.
Oh, those are 11 gauge, aren't they?
Yeah. So probably.
Yeah.
So that's sort of what got me into it. So I always started with electric, and then I had lessons at secondary school, and I don't know if it's just how chaotic my mind is sometimes or what, but like I then stopped for a bit before I sort of fully got back into it, and it's really good. Guy who taught me was awesome, but I could our school wouldn't let us have it on. It was always on the same day. It's on a Wednesday, I remember.
Right.
But it could never be at the same time because they didn't want it to affect the same lessons all the time.
Right. Yeah.
So they changed the times. Well, that wreaked havoc in my brain, mate. Because I can remember a day. If you told me on like on a Wednesday at 8:00 every Wednesday I've got to do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
I'm fine. I'm bang routine. Douche.
Yeah.
You start mixing up that time, you got no chance.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'd rock up at what time I thought it was, and he'd be like, yeah, "You missed it, mate." Or like, I'll come back in 2 hours because it's in 2 hours, and then my brain would just forget that.
Yeah.
And then I'd miss it.
Yeah.
So I did that for a couple of years, and then knocked it on the head like through GCSEs and stuff, just because I was still paying for it, right?
Yeah.
Because it was my fault I was missing it. It wasn't his fault or anything. Yeah. So I was still paying and not getting anywhere. I still played a little bit, but when I stopped doing that, I kind of stopped playing as much.
Okay.
And then when I left school, my best mate is a drummer. And he sort of sparked a bit more of a we should play together sort of thing. A little bit of fire, I guess. When I then went to college and started my apprenticeship and stuff, I got back into it, and then from there it's all sort of been self-taught or through. I suppose you got to give some credit to the guys and girls on YouTube. Like when I say self-taught, there's also a lot of tuition through YouTube videos and stuff. It's I think to say you're completely self-taught, but you watch YouTube videos is a little bit of a cop-out.
I don't think you can say you're I don't think anybody can really say they're completely self-taught anymore. Yeah. Unless you see them playing it in a proper weird way.
Yeah.
Like, okay. Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah. Or like something like loads of that kind of the percussion
stuff.
Like that's
it's
amazing.
Insane. Yeah. I think that as well, like all of them have like slightly different variations to that style. So I feel like there's an element of like, this is how you do it, but it's whatever works for you
And then it's
rhythmically.
it's like
So,
personality as well. Yeah, exactly.
And like
yeah.
what if I tried to do something that like John Gomm or something does, I might do it in a completely different way.
Yeah.
To what he kind of would.
Yeah. I tried it a few years ago, and I just.
I'd love to be able to do it.
I got really angry with myself really quick, and I thought, no, I'm going to go back to strumming.
Yeah, absolutely.
That'll do it.
Strumming, singing, sorted.
Yeah, because that's another thing, isn't it? Like singing at the same time.
Oh, it's incredible.
It's like all that polyrhythms and like.
The guys and girls that manage to sing while doing it as well, I'm just like, you are not human, mate.
Yeah, no
way.
No. No.
There's something fishy here, mate.
Yeah.
There's no way you can do that.
So what's your kind of writing process? Do you have like a sorry to change the subject really abruptly.
No,
I'm a really like
it's good to scoot off in different directions. It stops things from like
I know what I'm like, and I like. There's been a couple of times, especially in the last one, where I started saying something to Stef, and then just went, I can't remember what I was going to say, and but yeah, what's your kind of writing process? Do you start with the music? Do you start with the lyrics? Do you kind of, is it a bit of both? Is there like a what's the kind of, because you've written quite a lot of stuff that's like I put you on in the week because I thought he's coming in, I need to.
I appreciate it, man. Get my listens up.
I remember when I first met you, and I was
all
like,
pennies.
You were one of the first people I saw that had one of the little like things with Instagram on it and all of that little board. I was like, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure I messaged you straight away actually, being like, mate, it was a cool set. Because I think I was holding my daughter.
Yes,
I was like, this guy's good, and the songs are good, and it was, and you're just a nice bloke. So stop blowing smoke up your ass.
Likewise, man. It was one of them things. You know when you do something, and you're like, I'm glad I did that because I met an awesome guy. Genuinely,
that was not
just because I'm sat here doing a podcast. Genuinely,
I was glad to
awesome.
I was glad to earn my 30 quid off of Ben, but actually meeting him was the best bit. But what's your kind of process? Are you?
So it is probably like a little bit of both. I'd say mostly lyrics first.
Okay.
As much as like the songs that I do write and sort of stand by playing and record or whatever, I do love them. But I almost hate my writing process.
Okay.
Probably because I don't write. It's like anything, right? If you do it different to someone else, you always envy how they do it.
Yeah.
So like, I would say about 10% of, not whole songs, because like all of my songs have a similar process, even if they do sway from the norm.
Mm-hmm.
But like the people that can sit down and say like, right, I'm going to write 5 songs today.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
No,
it's impossible. Like every single song I write, there is a story or an experience that I've had. Like,
and is that personal? Is it? Because some people, like there's people I've met that have written songs. And I think, wow, that's really. I can't remember what her name was. Lackey. I don't know. There was twin sisters that were gigging, and one of them was. She had a phenomenal voice, but it was the other one that was writing. And, And she would come out with these songs, and she was like, she would say afterwards, "I've made this story up. It's not something that's happened to me." And I thought that's quite a weird way of like a different way of doing it.
Yeah.
So your stuff is it more personal? Or is
everything's got like a genuine something happen. Like it stems from something. Whether it doesn't necessarily have to be a story. Sometimes it's like a feeling. Yeah. Like it's not recorded yet, but the song "What You Want to Be," like that. I literally got home one day, like the wife was just sort of finished uni. Yeah. And everyone, including myself, like I'm responsible for it as well, was sort of, when are you going to get, like, so she did performing arts. And it's like, what you can do? Like, you're going to go audition for this, so you're going to go work at that theatre, what you're going to try and do. And then like, after probably, I'd like to say a couple of weeks, but it's probably like a couple of months of like, her getting actually smashed in the face with like all these questions. Yeah. It just clicked in my brain. I was like, maybe that isn't what she wants to do anymore. Yeah. And that's fine. And like, I personally would like slightly off of music here, but like, I'll always support her in whatever she wants to do. Yeah. Yeah. Even if that's like counting beans on a table for someone. Do you know what I mean? Like, I couldn't care less as long as she's happy. So that song stemmed from that. I just had that feeling of like, why are we hounding Not at the time. It was like, why are we hounding like my girlfriend? But like, I think we all do it in society.
Yeah.
Like, and there's unnecessary pressures for people. So I never went to uni. I did apprenticeships. But like, for people who go to uni, there's that expectation of like, you've just spent 40 grand and 3 years of your life doing this thing.
Yeah.
You need to go and do it.
Yeah.
And I think it's just unnecessary. Like, people shouldn't feel that pressure, and that's what that song came from. Basically, I was just like, and I think that song, it is almost like the first verse, the entire first verse, and almost the music came like simultaneously. I think I knew what I wanted to write about. I had the first couple of like lines, and a melody for them,
and the rest,
and then the chords just
flowed out,
just like literally within minutes were there. Like, it was one of the nicest, smoothest flowing writing of a song I've ever had, I think. Like, some songs take me like months, a year.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm also like picky about what I don't put in a song. Like, if I've got half a song, I won't do the whole thing. Like, I'm going to sit down and finish it.
Yeah.
Because then me personally, there's people out there that don't have this problem, but like, I then write trash because it's not coming from like here.
Yeah.
That second verse or third verse or whatever. It's just like I've fabricated it to fit the song. And then whenever I'm singing it, I'm like, it's not really right though, is it? No. But that's a personal, like, whether you want to call it an issue or that's just me. There's plenty of people out there that write incredible songs and do that, fabricate whatever.
But it's probably a part, like, after a while they've come across their own like recipe for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
But it probably stems to start with from that.
Like, quite possibly. Yeah. I mean, and also I think some people are just like incredibly talented at like writing, not always fiction, but like writing a story regardless of like the factual substance.
Yeah.
They'll be able to tell you a story about a ship that went to sea and went missing, and 10 years later someone come back and it was a happy love story, happy ever after, and they've written like an amazing song about it. Never happened. Don't know anyone that goes to sea. Like, they just have that ability to write, almost small shorts.
Short stories.
Short stories. They turn them into music, which is it's fair play to them. I wish I could do it.
So you said you did apprenticeships rather than going to uni. What was your apprenticeship?
So when I left school, I did an apprenticeship in to be a vehicle technician, so mechanic, grease monkey, whatever you want to call it. And I did that for sort of 10 years. It's only recently I've sort of changed, working for Openreach now, which is fun.
Nice.
But so I spent 10 years working on cars and things, sort of on the side of doing music, it's hard work because not saying like desk life's easy, but when you're sort of 8 till 5:30,
and it's physical.
Really physical job, and then going out gigging afterwards. Like, after however many years, it does start to. You almost feel like you're chronically tired. you just run on tiredness. Like,
you haven't got kids yet, have you?
No.
Yeah, that's kind of how that feels. You're just constantly tired.
Amazing. So I did that. And,
so you're working for Openreach.
Yeah.
So because you were saying just before we started about how you had you haven't gigged as much since COVID.
Yeah.
I know we kind of touched on that a little bit. Do you mind talking about the kind of
happy to mate. Easy peasy.
So what kind of prompted the lull in gigging, I suppose?
So sort of post COVID, it just came from pre-COVID, to be honest. So obviously we had a little chat about it earlier. Happy to sort of talk about it on podcast. Absolutely. So 2018 was like proper rough for me. I had like quite a long period of being quite depressed and like suffered massive anxiety. And I think like the anxiety bit never goes. I can tell you now, I go to gigs sometimes and I'm like, I need to go take a nervous shit or something. Once you get going, it's fine. But like massively suffered with that in 2018. And didn't really talk about it much, and that was most of the problem. Like, all I needed to do was talk about these things, and it was fine. So a bit of advice for anyone if you're struggling with that: talk about it. Like, people do care. So I did like almost nothing through 2018. I did quite a bit before then. I was like gigging like semi-regularly and stuff, and then I just almost stopped. Even like open mics now, I just wouldn't go because I was just scared. Like, wouldn't do that. Like, even the missus was like, why aren't you playing? You
Yeah.
know. And then I wouldn't explain why I wasn't playing because I didn't talk about it.
Yeah.
Vicious circle. And then, got myself some help at the end of 2018, which was awesome. And then, got myself sorted. Went into 2019 with like rocket fuel up my arse, basically. It was like, right, this is it. I'm feeling good about life. Like, let's get on the wagon. I want to get like songs released. I want to do, gig more.
Did you release them yourself?
Yeah, so I've massive some shout outs actually as well. So like my band, obviously myself, and they play a part in like writing all the parts that they play. So like I don't write the drums or the bass or anything like these guys. Yeah. Courtney Jones, amazing guitarist, and writes all the lead parts and does BVs. He's obviously played a massive part in making it all happen. Steve Warrington. Or Big Steve, he's also known as. Right. He's lost loads of weight, so he's not big anymore. Let's stop calling him that. Little Steve. No, he's a legend. He plays bass. And, writes all the bass stuff and BVs. And then to start with, we had Toby Evangelii on drums.
I know Toby. Well, I know of Toby. I don't think I've ever met him, but
so he started off, but he gets busy doing other bits. So it kind of
he's a busy bloke, isn't he?
Yeah, so that sort of swayed off a little bit. And I've had Ben Fagg play for us.
That name rings a bell as well.
Amazing drum. We're both amazing drummers.
Okay.
Ben does. He drums for. I'm gonna butcher the name of it. It's like a Michael Jackson tribute that goes around the world.
Oh right. Oh wow.
Like
nice.
big time tribute. So he gets busy doing that. So drummer wise, there's no like permanent seat. But all the recordings so far have been Toby. If you hear the drums on that, it's Toby.
Yeah.
And then Jamie Smith. Did all the recording.
Jamie
used to be in Coconut Butterflies.
Yeah, Jamie.
Big boxer, amazing guy.
He's
genuine,
wicked.
just real nice bloke.
Yeah.
So he done all the recording. So I've got all of them to thank for it, and then one of my best mates, Josh Harvey, helped me do all like the marketing side of things. And ultimately, I think it was sort of Steve and him that helped sort of release it. Sort of unsigned, but through something that made it just flow and work, which is good. Everything you see sort of like media wise around the time that like Burning Light came out and Stay Strong was all sort of me having ideas, wacky ideas, and Josh making them reality basically, which he's nice. An awesome guy. So yes, it's all like come from me, but like definitely I'm not taking credit for
all of it.
for even half of it.
Oh, no.
I wrote the songs I played. If with those guys, it would have been pants, mate. And Adam done the videos. Adam did the first video for Burning Light. Adam Tinian, and a guy called Tom. Did Stay Strong. So both.
And are they
like both local? Yeah.
The videos and stuff, are they on YouTube? Or
So I believe Stay Strong video is only on like Facebook and stuff.
Okay.
I need to do something about that because it's such an awesome video. Like there's some like Stay Strong's about my best mate, and there's some like old pictures that we drove out and filmed with, which was really it's just really cool. Check it out on Facebook. And then Burning Light, you can find a video on YouTube, and that's got all sort of like powder paint and stuff, and drone shots.
Bung a link somewhere.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, check them out. Yeah, I say, those guys that all the guys that have been involved have been awesome. I've deviated slightly from the question. I can't exactly remember what it was.
I can't remember what it was.
You basically asked about releasing stuff. Those are all the guys to thank, basically. But generally, sort of, it's all like independent. Just us.
Yeah, it's good.
Which is good fun.
I think that's the way to go nowadays. I mean, like
definitely.
Everyone talks about getting record deals, and I don't know. I was offered one record deal by a label when I was about 20. And it wasn't. I was just playing guitar for this band.
Yeah.
But the deal was, to me, it sounded ridiculous. I don't know if it's the norm I don't know. It was like the studio were keeping 100% of the recorded rights.
Yeah.
So 100% of the royalties went to the studio.
Yeah.
They also wanted 50% of the recorded rights, of the performed rights rather. So if we gigged, they wanted half of that as well.
It's just not worth it.
Nah.
And you're tied into it as well, right?
Yeah.
You sign a contract. I do think, and I'm sure there's plenty of like absolutely fine things out there.
Yeah.
There's some dodgy ones, some not so dodgy ones.
Yeah.
But like me personally, unless someone was coming to me and said, "I want you to quit your job tomorrow. We're going to guarantee what you're earning now,
Yeah.
and then let's see where it takes us."
There's no point
not
signing
worth it.
anything. I mean, I'm
not worth
considering, because I suppose the next step really for like everything I do is probably to become a label and a production. I mean, I'm slowly becoming a production house, but is to have its own label and to have an agency attached to it.
Yeah.
And I thought about, I mean, it's probably not a good business model. Like, I wouldn't make much money out of it.
Yeah.
But I would rather take a percentage, just say like, this is how much everything I'm going to give you would have cost.
Yeah.
I will promote it as much as you should promote it, because it's your stuff. This is your stuff. Yeah.
It's in your interest.
I will take, I don't know, 20% of the revenue until that amount is made up.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, 10% afterwards for the rest of time or whatever. And then, I don't know, because...
that sort of model would make sense for an artist, because it means...
Well, that's kind of where I'm getting it from.
Because not everyone's got $1,000 to spend on recording a song, right?
And there's too many really, really good artists that don't have the money that don't have the time. I mean, like, my whole ethos really is try to be the person you needed 15 years ago.
Yeah. And that's amazing to hear, let alone see.
But I don't know how many people would take it.
Yeah.
And I don't know how quickly it would take it until I bankrupt myself. Because I'd end up just going...
Yeah. It is a tough one, I think, as well. Like, and I suppose in that scenario, you've got to be careful, like, not taking too many people on and too much stuff on.
That's it.
Like,
yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely an interesting topic with people getting, attached to labels and things. And I think it's definitely very different to what it used to be. They definitely want to take...
Yeah, oh God, yeah.
They want their money before they've made their money, sort of thing. And then they want to make more afterwards.
Because what I understood of old school labels, like, you'd get signed to something and then they'd go, here's X amount of money. We want 2 albums out of you by next year, or 2 albums in 5 years or something.
Yeah.
Here's, I don't know, argument's sake, £1 million.
Yeah. Go and do it.
Spend it however you want.
Yeah,
we'll take the first. We'll take the first $1 million out of. I don't know.
I'm no expert. Like, I'm sure there's people out there that know the ins and outs of all of it. But I think now. I mean, back then they'd take a punt on someone.
Yeah.
So many bands were literally like, the only people that knew about them was their town, but they were awesome.
Yeah.
So then they'd take a punt on them, and like, here they are. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas now I think a lot of them want you to have already done a lot of the real hard graft of building that
community. They look
tens of thousands of followers before they even like touch you.
But then it kind of begs the question: if you can get that amount of a following, on your own, what's the point in?
Yeah, there's got to be pros and cons.
Yeah,
I'm sure. Yeah, like I say, I'm sure there's people out there that would be like, "Oh, this is what you get from it." But it's. I mean, certainly for me, like I say, unless someone was saying, "I'll pay you, what you earn now."
Yeah.
Because I do it because I love it.
Yeah.
And for it to be like full time, it'd have to be paying me.
It's got to be
like, and there's those people out there who probably would say like, you obviously don't want it enough because you should be passionate enough to give up everything to do it, right?
It's not,
but at the same time, like,
I don't think
me personally, I'm just like, for me, like, that's not a commitment I'm willing to.
I don't think that's a lack of passion. I think that's just being sensible.
I think so. Like, got a mortgage. I love it.
So have you got many gigs coming up?
To be fair, I've not got loads of stuff.
Okay.
Not got loads of stuff sort of scheduled at the minute, and again partially because that's my fault, like, for not either not like chasing things up or not saying yes to stuff. I guess people,
But that's good. That's good a lot of the time.
There's been opportunity to do things, but I mean, work's super busy at the moment, and like I said earlier, coming out the back of COVID. I don't think we got two of post-COVID, but actually, so
I don't know. We did.
2019 was 100 mile an hour.
Right.
Everything was amazing, And then I was gigging like a couple of times a week at least, including like my day job, which was mad. And then COVID happened, come out back of COVID, and I just slowed down a little bit, or a lot.
Yeah.
Probably too much. But I just thought to myself, do I really want to be like driving up to London on a Wednesday?
Yeah.
Getting home at 2 o'clock in the morning and going to work for 8 o'clock again. And it got a bit too much. So I've slowed down loads. So yeah, I do need to pick up stuff more. And like I say, there's been opportunities, but I just need to action it really. And I think when work slows down a little bit more as well, like I'll have more. Like it's weird. Like I won't go into details of work 'cause that's not why we're here. But I don't finish when I finish all the time.
Yeah.
And like I'm the sort of person that thinks about that while even when I'm signed off. You know what I mean? I'm still thinking about the things I've got to do the next day. So that don't put me in a good place to like gig. Like, I don't feel like I'm going to give 100%.
No.
If I can't give 100%, I'm not interested in doing it.
And that is part of it, really. I mean, like we were saying before as well. People don't seem to realise a lot of the time that actually it's not a full-time job for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And that they do a full-time job alongside it, and it's like it is massively taxing. Like it's
big time, yeah.
really hard work to try and. I mean, you have like an argument or something before you go on, and you've then got to try and just look happy all the time.
Be that happy-go-lucky guy.
And it's not that simple.
Yeah, it's hard work. Yeah, it definitely is. Like I say, it's taxing when you've got a full-time job as well, and like even if you've got a part-time job, right, it's still hard work.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think sometimes those sort of factors do come into play.
Yeah.
So yeah, I need to do more. I need to pull my finger out. That's what I need to do.
Well, only if you want to.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, I definitely should because I love it. It's strange because, and the wife always says to me like, "Oh, you always have the best time when you gig." But again, like sometimes I think it's the anxiety creeping in because something would come up and I'm like, "Oh, that sounds good. Maybe I'll do that," and then I think, "Oh, what if I'm shit?"
You said
So
you said something earlier about anxiety never leaving.
Yeah.
And I've never heard it described that way actually, but it does make sense. I mean, I think the open mic night, the thing you were talking about, I had a very similar like time.
Yeah.
Before I was playing with High Tide and before I'd gone away, I'd actually done a contract abroad already.
Yeah.
And I took a guitar to an open mic night and I stood at the back with my housemate. And she was like, "Are you going to play anything?" And I was like, "I don't know that I can."
Yeah.
She was like, "You're what?
Yeah.
You've played hundreds of gigs in front of hundreds of people.
Yeah.
Why can't you just play a song at an open mic night?" And I just remember being like basically crippled with fear.
Yeah.
And it's never left.
Yeah.
And the same, like the gigs I do now, even with the party band and I know that it's not as polished as it could be, but it's pretty polished. I end up thinking, especially if I'm going somewhere new, I think, God, I don't know if this place are going to like this.
Yeah.
And then if I'm playing somewhere that we played before, I just think, oh Christ, they've seen most of this before. Are they going to hate?
I hope they still like it.
Yeah. And it's like,
yeah.
It never used to bother me years ago, and it's like something clicked, and now it's like, Christ, this is actually quite.
It's hard work. Like it can be hard work, and like I said, I definitely still suffer with it. Like most times, to be fair, even.
It's on another level with your own stuff as well, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I don't know actually. It's a little bit odd because I suppose it is the circumstances of the type of gig and stuff. But like, if I'm doing like purely original stuff and like not that long ago, I went and supported good friends of mine, Argyle.
All right, yeah,
amazing band. Steve and Courtney are both in that, and Ben. And then obviously Jake as well. Very, very incredible. I supported them down at Albury Sound Collective, which is a brilliant venue. Like we've done some great work down there now. Got a lot of good gear. But it's solo, like on my own. But I didn't feel that particular time, whether it's just like the day or whatever, didn't feel too bad. And I think certainly with like original stuff, you go into a room it's easy to have the attitude of, like, these people are here to see original music for starters.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to be people that are more, that are actually listening, that are actually more susceptible to things that they haven't heard a million times on the radio. They're there for that. They've come out of their way to listen to that.
Yeah.
So they're, you know, if they don't like the fact that it's original music, they've gone to the wrong gig.
Yeah.
That's not a you problem.
Yeah.
And then equally, because it's original stuff, even though I suffer like these kinds of anxieties, my brain just says, not everyone has to like your stuff.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Music's like all preference. You know, and if you're on a night of original music, if there's 100 people there, you know, I mean, all of them might not like your stuff, you know, but like, generally speaking, there's going to be a handful of people that it's just not their thing. And it's not that you're bad or your songs are bad.
Yeah.
It's just, it's not their style of music.
Yeah.
So I feel like those ones are actually easier. It's when you're doing the stuff with all the covers and stuff, because I feel that pressure of like, oh, do they actually like these songs?
Yeah.
Like, I always try and play songs that are like, I never play songs that I don't like, because I never give them 100%.
Yeah.
And like I said earlier, if I can't give 100% to someone
Yeah,
at a gig, I don't like doing the gig.
Yeah.
So like, I'll always do stuff. So like, I do some wacky covers of things that I think other people don't necessarily do, that are well known, that I put my spin on. And then there's that anxiety of like, do other people think this is cool? Yeah, like doing an acoustic version of like Love Gun by Kiss.
Oh right, yeah.
You know,
yeah, I've heard you do that.
A little bit
It's
out
good.
there, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you just think, oh, are people going to like this?
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple of AC/DC tracks, acoustic's quite fun. Def Leppard.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one does Def Leppard acoustic.
No.
Do people even like Def Leppard acoustic? I don't fucking know. Yeah, it gets some good feedback. But do you know what I mean? It's when you go in, for me, it's when you're going into those sorts of gigs where you're doing those songs that you think like, I'm doing something that these people really know.
Yeah.
To them, is it fun and different and they like it, or am I butchering it for them? Like, do they want like the heavy version of this, or do they think, oh, that's pretty cool? You know, that's the stuff that goes through my head.
Yeah.
But normally, once I get going as well, I'm fine.
Yeah. Oh no, I agree with
Once
that
I
as well.
start to feel
Once you
that
start,
like warmer vibe of, you know, people are actually enjoying themselves, you know, and everyone's having a good time, I relax loads.
Yeah.
And then I give a better performance as well.
Yeah, same.
But it's that initial like strum of a chord or initial vocal, but my brain's just like.
It's funny as well, isn't it? Because like, you've either got one way or the other.
Yeah.
People that, you very rarely get people that aren't enjoying it that like kick off.
Yeah.
So it's either people are enjoying it or people just aren't bothering to listen, full stop.
Yeah.
In which case you just do what you want anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, you're 100% right. And I think it's, your brain sort of says, imagine
Yeah.
someone starts throwing chairs around. Never happens.
No,
Believe it or
never
not.
happens.
Or if
not
it has, if anyone has had that happen, let us know.
Yeah. It's not happened to me yet.
I've never had it.
No.
Yet.
We've had speakers nearly falling over on top of people,
Yeah.
but that's for the complete opposite reason.
People having a good time.
The pub the floor was moving,
Yeah.
and then the speaker starts coming over like that.
So,
And I had to jump in front of it and catch it, otherwise it was going to hit the bass player.
Madness. But at least it's for good reason. Like, everyone's having a good time. Right?
Yeah.
Obviously, you don't want to damage your gear and stuff, but
No, that's
Yeah.
that same pub is not. We haven't been there yet without someone falling over something.
amazing,
yeah.
amazing. But yeah, like for me, that's what it sort of comes down to. Like I say, original stuff, I'm usually pretty fine. Like, and I absolutely love the stuff where it's like what Ben runs over in. Like,
That's great.
That.
Yeah.
You know, the things where you're playing for people, the people that want to listen, the people that don't just walk by, like.
And it is that constant movement of people
It's
walking
so nice.
around.
Yeah, you get to see so many different people that you wouldn't necessarily see in like a pub gig or like a scheduled event, kind of thing.
And it is like it doesn't pay loads, but it is like a sprat to catch a mackerel, isn't it?
Yeah,
like, You do them little things there for like 45 minutes. The rig's already set up. You just sort of turn up with a guitar.
Turn up with your guitar, off you go.
And then, like, I've had weddings and things out of all sorts out of people just walking past and going, oh, actually,
I like that.
Yeah,
same. Yeah, so good. Yeah.
And you get to meet people.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Get to meet other musicians and that. And Ben's quite good at picking.
He picks pretty
people
good.
He knows. Oh, I'm sure he knows everyone's going to get on.
I think if you get on with Ben,
you're going to get on with each other. Yeah.
I mean, he gets on with everyone, doesn't he?
Yeah.
he knows everyone.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. So yeah, as a final question, what's next? So what do you, if you could see yourself musically in like, I don't know, 5 years, where would you like to be? Well, 5 years isn't that long, is it?
Oh, it's not, it goes so quick.
It does go quick. Yeah.
But no, like personally, I kind of, when I was younger, you get that thing in your head of like, oh, I want to be like playing Wembley or like these massive stadiums and stuff. And listening to some more sort of, I suppose, not local to me, but like big in their own right, but like smaller scale musicians and stuff, really made me think of like why I do it.
Okay.
So for me, in 5 years' time, obviously circumstance-wise, if it could be full-time, it'd be amazing. But like all the time I'm playing to people that want to hear my music and I'm having a positive impact on someone's life, that's me fulfilled, like when it comes to music. So like if I'm still doing my day job as I am now, and I'm just giving people some good times in my spare time, I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
Equally, you know, if I was able to do it full-time, which would be amazing, like as an artist that I absolutely love, and there's a recorded album at, I think it's like in London somewhere, and he mentions like his inspirations and what made him sort of go down that avenue before Vance.
Yeah.
He's from Northern Ireland. And he basically just says like, kind of along the lines of, he'll go and do gigs, and if people turn up, great, and he can make a living out of it, even better. So like, if I was doing music full time and I was playing venues that were like 800 people at a time, and it's just like selling that out and making like a, you know, you don't need to be making millions. No. Is kind of what I'm trying to say. Like, I don't care about.
Just want to make a comfortable living.
Yeah, like if I could earn like 35, 40k a year, just from like touring and playing to like a smaller number of people that just love my music. Yeah, that would be me sorted. Yeah. Like I'd be more than happy with that. It's not that I don't have aspirations or like the dream to maybe like play something like Wembley or, you know, these massive venues. Yeah. But equally, that's not why I do it. Yeah. Like I think personally, yeah, like I say, dream world, I'd be doing gigs, and as long as it's playing, you know, paying the bills, and I'm playing to people that want to hear my stuff, I'd be more than happy with that. Nice. And then like actually like on the ground now, I suppose for me my goal is to try and get back on track from the back end of like 2019. So I had a couple of like live sessions scheduled, which was going to include a good friend of mine who's an amazing keys player and spoken word legend of Henry Medicate. Nice. So it'd be nice to get back on the road and get that done, just to like put out a bit more content for people. So like all the time you're not doing stuff, you're also not giving stuff to people that follow you and things. So yeah, I think I've got a bit of responsibility to do something for the people that care, right? So yeah, I think that's my goal really. Like cool. Yeah, as much as I like gigging, those sort of things I want to do. A bit more online presence. And I think it's important actually nowadays. Maybe do some YouTube
it's
stuff.
Almost more important to have an online presence than it is to be gigging as much. I suppose.
I think at the minute as well, with like people can't afford to go out all the time. Yeah, but they can sit on YouTube. Yeah, you know. Yeah. So yeah, I think it's maybe steer it that way a little bit. So yeah, it's easy for me.
It's much cheaper to get 4 cans. Yeah, you get 4 tinnies from the shop rather than go for 4 pints. Yeah, difference between a £5 and 20 quid.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
it's quite a big difference, isn't it? I mean,
it's mad. It definitely has impacts.
Yeah, I mean, where are you living?
So I live in Canterbury myself.
In Canterbury.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Where's your drinking hole? Where's the?
I used to go to Bramley's loads.
What did it close down?
Yeah, closed unfortunately. Like such a shame.
They got anything else there yet?
Nah, nothing. I don't believe there's anything there at the moment. But like that was an incredible venue because it did support like local music. Yeah. Always had the open mics. Always had gigs on. And it was like decent cocktails, really nice, like almost bohemian style, like just really nice place to be, cozy, really cool. So that's gone. So to be honest, drinking wise, I just go wherever's got a nice beer garden at the minute because I love being outdoors. Yeah. But But yeah. So I mean, there are places that put on music and stuff in Canterbury. I think it's just finding the right ones that want to do like original music and stuff. Do you know what I mean? There's plenty of places.
There doesn't seem to be that much in the way of original music, or at least I'm not. Maybe I'm just not in that.
We're not looking hard enough.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the standout places are, sort of in Thanet. You've got Alby Sound Hub or Creative Hub. Obviously Ramsgate Music Hall.
Yeah.
Those sorts of places. Yeah. I'm not sure if it's still there, but like Elsewhere in Margate, underneath a record store.
Elsewhere.
That's an amazing record store. And sort of little gigging space underneath. I'm not sure if they're still sort of going, but that that was incredible. And there's a few other little places like that. But in Canterbury, it's hard to find somewhere that's putting on sort of original stuff, unless it's like a one-off,
Yeah, and it's the thing, like people don't we're racking our brains now trying to think of the places that are still doing it. If we're kind of in the know, and we don't know where it is.
Yeah.
Like, how are the public supposed to know where they are?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I think again, I don't know if it's probably a combination of loads of stuff, right? But I think the reason why there's not tons of these places is a lot of people aren't necessarily interested. Yeah. But equally, I think there is a lot of people that are interested. So
I think there's a lot of people that would be interested that
if it was there,
that don't know that
or
they're
don't know.
interested.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah. If you was to sort of drag a bunch of people down and be like, look at all these local original bands, they'd be like, oh, it's bloody awesome.
Yeah, like,
sign me up for next week.
And like loads of people that wouldn't know. Like there'll be lots of people that have never heard of your music.
Yeah.
That will hopefully this causes a little bit of a spike, but that will have never heard it and then gone, actually, he's really good.
Yeah.
I'll listen to him more and listen to that, and then
sort of you could build up that more local community of original stuff. Yeah,
that's kind of what we're trying to do. That's what that was kind of my idea here. Really, is to help promote musicians.
Yeah.
Cheers for being the first one.
Mate, it's a pleasure.
It's
always a pleasure to see you.
Me and Stef chatting bollocks for an hour. It's nice to get into the nitty gritty of it.
No, it's good. It's been an absolute pleasure, and always good to catch up. And it's good to talk about these things. I think it's good.
Yeah, nice.
Get a bit of.
Thanks very much.
You're more than welcome.
Let's get playing.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Play some tunes.